This is Genesis Nest Boxes. We're going to assemble a barn owl box so that you can see how to assemble it yourself. Ben will be doing the assembly for us. The first thing you'll see when you unpack the box is the base, which is pointing out there. The holes in it is the base box. Now you'll see that the inside is rougher than the outside. The rougher side must be inside the box. Now we're going to raise the back panel, which is there. And you're going to slide the aluminium angle at the bottom of the back panel under the baseboard. Now you're going to slide the front panel, which has got the big square hole in it, under the baseboard, and you're going to put the two sides on. Either side, doesn't matter which comes first. You'll see now that your back and front panel goes inside the aluminium sides of the side panel. And there's the next one going in. Your back box will now stand on its own. We're now going to put in a bolt so that you can see what it looks like to put in the bolt. Ben is going to take a 20mm bolt and he's going to put it through. On the inside, he's going to put the correct washer. The washer always goes on the board side of the material. And then he's going to put a nut on there. The nut is a nylock nut. It becomes very difficult at a certain stage to fasten. Please continue until the thing is tight, really tight, but don't overscrew either. Now we use a drill. Obviously, it's because we make a lot of them. You use two spanners to tighten it. It's tight. You can see it protruding at the other end of the nut. The bolt is now tight. You will now put in all the bolts in all the different holes. There's a hole here, there's a hole there, there's holes this side and on the back. So you'll put in all those bolts before you go any further. The next thing we're going to install is the fledging perch on the front. So again, you've got two brackets for that. You'll see that there's a left hand and a right hand bracket. So you put the bolts through, then put the washer on and then the nut to keep them in place. We put on the next bracket. And those bolts are tightened. A washer on the inside and then a nut on it. Now the fledging tray comes onto those. And it is again bolted. You can just put the bolts through for us from the fledging tray, Ben. We've got a bolt there and it goes through the hole that's drilled in the fledging tray and the bracket. The bolt should have a washer first on the soft side. Always on the board side, put the washer. And then you put a washer on the bolt and a nut on the other side. That is your bolt box now effectively constructed. Once you've tightened all the bolts and nuts sufficiently. There's two things left over. The one is the roof and the other one is an aluminium plate which Ben has there. Now that aluminium plate will go in either the back or one of the sides. This is to stabilize the box so that if you need to screw it anywhere against a wall or a roof or anything, you screw it through that thing first, through the box and into whatever else you're holding onto. That stops the bolts or the screws that you're putting in from pulling through the material. You would basically put this in place and then drill a hole through everything and put your screw through, self-tappers or whatever. If it is on the side, put it on the side and screw it from there. The last thing is the roof. These are the roof brackets. These two brackets are for the roof itself. So we have not drilled the roof at all, for the simple reason that the roof can fit in any which way. If it's against the wall at the back, it might have to move a bit forward. If it is against the tree branch, it might have to come to the side. You might have to cut a piece out of the thing to suit the tree or whatever. So the roof is yours to decide how it goes and where it needs cutting or fitting before you screw it down. Once it's in place, push the roof to the side. This is now how the roof is going to go on. Take a marking pen and mark here and there. That's where your bracket is. And then you'd know to screw between those two marks that you've made. You put your screw through. Now there's a special screw specifically for the roof. It fits in the front of a drilling machine. It is this screw. And you put it wherever your bracket is, put it in the drilling machine and run it through. And it's self-threading, self-drilling screw. And it will drill its own hole through the box, the roof, and into the brackets itself. And that's your box assembled at least. Now to install the box, we insist the box has to stand on something underneath. It has to be supported at the bottom. If it's in a tree, it has to stand on a tree branch. You cannot install this box hanging from the side of a branch only. It will come crashing down out of the tree. You cannot install this on a tree hanging from screws at the back only. It will come crashing down from the tree. The box weighs in excess of 14 kilograms. It's a heavy box. Put 4 or 5 bar nails in there. The box is in excess of 25 kilograms when they're fully grown. The box will come crashing down with your brood inside. It needs to be supported at the bottom. If it goes against a Dutch barn at the back, you'd need to put supporting timber for it and then braces that run underneath that would support the box. You'd need to put sufficient support at the back and on the side, depending if it's in a tree or in a barn, to keep the box in place. You can never put too many screws to hold it. The best thing to add to it is a nylon strap. Strap it up with a nylon strap, especially around a tree. Ben has got the straps there. Strap it up with a nylon strap. You buy them from the army shop in Killarney. I'm sure Eurogiant in any one of the big cities in Ireland has them. You buy one of those, wrap it around whatever, and then push it around the box and strap the box and then ratchet it until the box is tight. Make sure it is standing on something before you walk away. Make sure it is screwed tightly before you walk away. Thank you so much for watching this, and we hope you get your barn nail box up and in place.